いや、今特になんか、中盤のオブジェクトがすごい価値が高い代わりに、ジャックスの復権によって、そのオブジェクトを切って、要は捨てて、ファームさせることで、レートに強いキャンプが育った場合、中盤バロンとか考える25分あたりで、あいつ止めなきゃいけねえからってなって不利になるみたいな、そういうのが普通にあるからね。インタビューでゼウスも答えてたよ。レーン耐えられるチャンピオンはもちろんだけど、トップレーンで今大事なのはサイドの中盤での 1v1 戦えるチャンピオンを取らなきゃいけないっつって、そういうメタになってると思う。いや、まあでも結局オーロラアルティメット集団戦強いから。what keeps us going. And I think it's a big part of the reason why we're always giving T1 the benefit of the doubt here. Of course, in the 2v2 lane swap, though, LCK teams a little more experienced. LNG のクリームがむちゃくちゃオーロラうまかったよ。Of course, you highlight it takes away from some of that burst damage, but does offer a bit of sustain, a bit of additional damage, and does give you that permanent health stacking 4 per proc.
I mean, yeah, it makes sense to me. Well, it doesn't really. It's more.
That's an Ahri enthusiast. You hate it because you want to do damage.
Yeah. It's understandable in the context of melee matchups, right? Because it's very easy to generate the grass procs. You can just keep hitting your opponent. Gives you a bit of extra sustain. That part makes sense. It's just that in the mid game, I feel like you lose a lot of damage.
Kind of like when you can proc electrocute on somebody.
Yeah. Now, this is the part of the lane swap that we all know and love, because this is the skill part of the matchup.
Can you pull off the dive? Ben, level 2, level 3 now is great. Counter-strike crucial to survive the dive on here as well.
このスワップゲームはね、BLG の方がうまくやったね。
You have to assume steadfast presence is there, and it really stops any potential of the dive.
この序盤は。
But definitely the winner of this situation, Zeus will be able to catch this last part of the wave, but Ben having access to a nice stacked wave on the bot side is going to be more than happy to pick this.
代わりにビッグウェーブ入れることでパワープレート2枚取ってるからまあいいんだろうけど。
Of course, pretty calm, all things considered. We talked about it in the previous game, but once the initial dives kind of fade away, might see the reset to standard lanes now that the first few levels have been kind of survived, now that both bot lanes have been able to get a little bit more experience. But remember, in the context of this year, BLG have certainly had T1's number. Last year, T1, well, they had all of
ジャックスのウェーブがこれで消えてなけりゃマジで理想だったんだろうけど、これでビンちょっと負けちゃったんだよな。なんでこれビン負けたんだろうね。あー、メガナになってウェーブプッシュが速くなったんだ。ここ普通のメレーだったら結構プッシュが間に合わなかったりする。これでワンウェーブ丸々消えたから逆転したんだね。結構修正がやっぱ早いな。
qualification stage, it would have been in the 2-1 bracket, if I remember correctly, where T1 actually got a 2-0 to the
アルティメットがめっちゃ強いね。
And were able to qualify there for the quarterfinals, where they then, in fact, made their miracle run all the way through.
オーロラの。
And coming into this one, again, understandable that BLG are expected to be the heavy favorites. They're a team that, ever since Wei has joined the roster in summer,
ウィットリー T1 はカバー入れないとな。アイラスが勝てるようになったら理想の形になるから。
Wei is hovering, and just as I say it, the observers highlight it for us. They're pushing mid, pushing bot, and they're working now together. Wei sets his sights on the bot side of the map, doesn't want to get spotted out by that little phantom. And they're all just kind of coordinating, providing that safety. He can look for a bit of a gank here, and here it comes.
Wei coming in, On can go in as well and try to interrupt some of these game tools, but they're just hitting the clone carrier. Able to shapeshifter out to safety, crucial to get away from that gank, but well highlighted, Betty. Good use of the line pressure from BLG to Fish, and you can see, meanwhile, T1 not really able to make a play of their own anywhere else.
So this is exactly what has made BLG so effective in the early games. And sometimes we've seen some of their inconsistencies in the early games at times, one of the things that they were criticized for early on in summer. But Wei has just kind of allowed that, to kind of allow these very talented laners to thrive in the way in which he enables them. And he doesn't tend to showcase a preference. We've seen him play through top lane as well.
Ooh, nice route. On getting chunked out here in the 2v2. You know T1 are stronger, forcing the
BLG これは効いてないだろうな。ガンク入れたのに有利つけずはばかれ反転され、倍からしたらやりやすい。
And they find a successful 2 versus 2 to get that summoner spell out from Elk.
And this is why the lane stall probably came out. You want to avoid this 2v2 at all costs. They thought the first 3 levels, if they just got level 3 without needing to fight.
上側もね、ビンが下側ガンク行くから BLG は上側リコールするしかなくて主導権ないからアーリがなんとかするしかないけど。
They do have a 1k gold lead now, just off the back of the lanes kind of returning to normal. Really objective advantage.
すごいうまいな。T1 は
BLG set their sights on Faker.
ゼウスがめっちゃうまいね。マジで6先行をちゃんと決めて、これで6先行でウェーブ主導権取ってヘラルド取れる。次はボットの6なんですが、これカリスタの方が先に6になるんだよね。あ、ならないな。リコールしてるから経験値ロスあったのかなと思ったけど、思ってる以上に陣が先に6だわ。これ生かして BLG なんかやりたいな。ドラかな。うん、6先行してドラ見るかスカトル見るか。カリスタが6に先行になってりゃ T1 側がドラゴン見れたけど、これで6になんない。足りない。これもうドラ触るね。やっぱそうだよね。ポッピーが思ってる以上に経験値を吸わないようにしてるから6が遅れたんだね。で6になったからドラゴン見に行こうっつってるけど、読んでた。うまい BLG。うまっ。まあまあまあまあ、アーリも1キル取ってサイラスも1キル取って、ただボットは苦しい。ポッピーがおとりにデッドしたからだいぶもうこれケアしなきゃいけないしな。
Now T1 first on the objective. They're spotted. BLG, a lot of pressure mid. Currently denying some creeps away from Faker. So there is a gold price that T1 are paying to take this objective.
レインチャンスを仕上げてる。中でもゼウスとオーナーが調子良さそう。いや、これはなんか準備じゃないかな。BLG がジャックスを、ビンがジャックスを好んで使うっていうのを元にドラフト組んでるからね。ジャックスバーサスナーって多分自信があるからナー先出しなんですよ。でそれで勝ってるからそこがでかい。マジでサイド今トップレーンめっちゃ重要だと思う俺は。でサイラス取ることで1対1の形も中盤強いし、でサイラスに1キル入ったからアーリにも1キル入ったんだけど、サイラスに金が入る方がまずいので、 ヒルプレッシャーが跳ね上がるんですよね。しかもこれレーニングちなみにレンチ対ベレーの関係上一応アーリの方が有利で、ただダメトレするとサイラスとアーリってプレイヤースキルマッチアップなんですよ。なのでサイラス側がダメトレを積極的にするか、ラストヒット切るかみたいな判断のもと CS 差がついたりとかしてっていうのがよくあるパターンなんですけど、これ CS 差もイーブンだからサイラスが結構やべえことになると思う。ここもジャックスにフリーファームさせないっていうのをやっぱやってるね。T1 かなり BLG を研究してる。ジャックスがミッドに移って上がって、これでいいんだよな。ヘラルドよりもなんかこうジャックス対ナーの部分でナーが勝つっていうのをすごい重要視してる。お互いインペールで引っ張り合ってんのくさ。
Meaning he can't remove one of those T1 members from the equation. BLG don't have the damage. And it means the T1 find themselves another kill. Elk with the push has the fourth shot, looking to get that tower plate, will secure it. As resets start to come through. Meanwhile, Gumayushi sitting in mid, takes the mid wave, actually rotates now down towards bots to try and help secure that tower. They're gonna secure it. Nice map movements there coming out from the T180 carry. It's Elk spending a lot of time to push in this wave. Yeah, resetting makes a lot of sense.
And a bit frustrating, right? Because you just get that 4 grub buff. You would love to be able to get some pressure down on top side. But Faker...
いや今特になんか中盤のオブジェクトがすごい価値が高い代わりにジャックスの復権によってそのオブジェクトを切って要は捨ててファームさせることでレートに強いキャンプが取らった場合終盤バロンとか考える25分あたりであいつ止めなきゃいけねえからってなって不利になるみたいなそういうのが普通にあるからね。インタビューでゼウスも答えてたよ。レーン耐えられるチャンピオンはもちろんだけどトップレーンで今大事なのはサイドの中盤での 1v1 戦えるチャンピオンを取らなきゃいけないっつってそういうメタになってると思う。1V さんやってますけどこのメガナーさん追い返したけど
I love your response there because I'm like, Faker's coming, Faker's coming. Like, it's not Faker, it's Carrier.
I'll be honest. Design team, I have one request. Please, for us, make it the correct picture. Because if that was Faker, people start dying, for sure. Carrier does not have the engage range.
Oh, okay. So ultimately, nothing comes off the back of that. BLG, they tried to set up a dive onto Zeus. I love the idea with Knight there, right behind them. I felt like that they would have enough damage, but the arrival of Ona really kind of ruined the play setup, bought enough time for Zeus to get the Mega Gnar, and then he was able to make a mega play to buy enough time to force BLG to then disengage.
And when you burn those resources, you don't have enough left to take the fight. As Faker gets aggressive on the bottom side, not sure if they have enough.
ダメージやばいな。
To make this happen, Papillon's stolen away. T1, this is both. They already got one objective. They want to go for two. They forced the flash out from On. T1 pulling incredibly far ahead. That beautiful play on the top side has won them so much. Bin is just now getting the lead on the top side. Here for the play and right
後に行った。でもテレポートされた。これこのゼウスのフリーファームっていうかビンのフリーファームを BLG は結構狙うんだよね。 ここも潰しに行ったでしょ。タワー取らせねえよつ徹底してるんだよね。瓶をとにかく見てるのを意識して。はい、LPLD 強いのはだから研究の成果な気がするけどね。 T1
because those TPs were invested from the mid laners, they've said, well, we've got to catch this wave now. So both of them stay in the top side of the map. Knight does have a bit of an experience lead, I think largely because Faker has been moving a lot
ね、まあ BLG は実際それで勝ってきてるからね。ああいう戦い方をして瓶にファームさせて、3コアジャックスの3コア 2.5 コア完成時に瓶に暴れてもらいましょう。で T1 の今の段階でいいところっていうのはカリスタを取ってる状態でオブジェクトを先行してることなんだよ。リフトヘラルドも取ってるしドラゴンも2つスタックしてるじゃん。でカリスタってすごいその槍でオブジェクトに対してさ、ドラゴンとかバロンに対して1000ダメージぐらい余裕で出るからスマイト勝負できないんだよね、タイミング合わせられると。この状態は T1 からするとすごくいい。崩しに行った。でもこれ代わりにミッドにリフトヘラルドを出してミッドタワー取ればいいんだけど、トップアクションからトップから降りてくるやつカッティングして、いやそうだよね、やっぱそうなるよな。ビンがテレポートしたけどゼウスの方が歩いて寄ってるし、ここ結構大事なファイト。おお BLG うまいね。でもアーリ結局降りてきちゃったからじゃあいいやってなってる。ここでアーリが降りてこないで勝ってたらもっとプラスだったんだよ BLG。 トップタワーも取れてて。ナイトなんか味方を信頼してトップタワー叩くべきだったね。トップのアウターが取れてるはず。ミスだなこれ完全に。 T1 からしたらトップから降りてくるやつらカッティングしてミッドにリフトヘラルド出すか。だからでそこをビンがテレポートでカバーしてワンデッドで抑えてターナー寄ってきてでタワーダイブになってるから救えてフラッシュ取ってヒール取って R 取ってってやったらやっぱもう いらないんだよな。アルティメットもないし結局。うわーミスったな BLG。 トップに残っとくべきだったよアーリは。これで2度手間なんだよな。ウェイがまた来てカバーしなきゃいけない。But you can see Faker's still not a second item completed. Similar story for Guma. So in the coming fights, pretty even footing. Flashes, however, on the side of T1, down across the board really on key members other than Zeus and Knight in a position where he can really take over a fight. まあドラファイトだね。Faker maybe going to try and burn it now. He does steal the Ahri ultimate. Won't be able to get anything so far. Just trading. Clears out the wave. Gets level 12. He is about a half a level behind Knight just because of that kill.That Knight was able to find on the top side. Dragon spawning in 40 seconds. Faker wants to get his reset off. いやでも BLG は旬に変わってからまた調子取り戻したんで。Actually forcing Faker to stick around as Zeus finally catches that bot wave. Bin back out onto the map. Actually already grabbed himself. まあでも不安感は拭えないだろうね。だから俺はハンファが勝つ方に入れました。They do want to fight for this objective. You can see Elk and Guma showing on mid wave. They want to try and get this one shoved in so they can have advantage on the objective. Knight wants one more wave. That might be enough to get in the Leandries, but ビンがねこの試合珍しくセカンドにあれなんですよ。シーカーズアームガード買ってるんですよ。 ここも徹底してお互い WTP メガになる。カリサだからファイトしないとドラゴン前にっつってやったけど返されちゃった。これきついっすね。
Because he stayed for that extra wave on top, he wasn't able to get the reset off, he wasn't able to replenish his HP or his mana, so once he then commits the TP bot lane to match the play from Faker, who had just gone back to base, he's now forced to reset, allowing T1 to guarantee themselves numbers advantage, especially given that Zeus was just allowed to back and had the TP available. They wisely concede the dragon.
クラウドってね、確かね、サイラス2回発動するんですよね。R でコピーした時にクラウド発動して、もう1回 R 打った時にまたクラウド発動するんですよ。いや、ズルって言われても R でコピーしようとしたスキルをペシで防げるんで、ズルって言われてもな、バンシーでも防げるんで。
Of war has been created on the top side of the map. BLG doing a good job of keeping this vision pressure up. The top side of the river fully in their control. Faker now going to match the wave.
E の2回目打ちながら R でコピーするっていうのがあるじゃん。技で。ERE だっけ ?EER かちょっと忘れたけど、ER か ERE かで、あれで前に E2 で突っ込んでもクラウドが発動してて、そっからもう一回コピーしたアルティメットでもう一回できるっていう。お、ビンがついにいった。T1 はこれで苦しくなったね。これをずっと警戒してたんだけど、それでもこじ開けたからうまいな。ミッドのタワーもついでに取ってボットのルートカットしてボットのアウターをビンに取らせるっていう動きですね。ウェイが通路封鎖して T1 はもうボットのタワーは無理と判断で上側に展開してゲームのテンポを取られないように先に上側のビジョンを取って撤退するっていう流れですね。テンポはね、ゲームテンポは BLG が持ってます。
cross map or anything, they can actually just sit there and say, T1, try and take this tower in front of us. I dare you to, because if you do, Ben is just going to continue to push in bot. Obviously, he needs to get his reset off, does have gold to spend.
ドランはビンを止められるのか。いやー、止めてもらわなきゃ困るでしょ。
We're going to need to see how well T1 can set up for objectives and find fights. Ben completing the hourglass is big. Again, another access to stasis. We saw in the previous game, Aurora disrupted what T1 could do. It stopped them from leveraging so many of their team fighting strengths. There's no Aurora this time around, but with BLG getting
大丈夫、オンがたまにオフになるから。
you saw in mid lane, if Elk is left standing, very easy for this lineup to start cleaning up on the counter engage.
I mean, if nothing else, I think it's fair to say that T1 definitely showcasing a stronger performance so far at Worlds than compared to what we saw them in the regional gauntlet.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely much more of a return to form, but BLG are locked in after the upset against LNG. You can see their adaptations that they've made, making sure that they have comfort of their own, and they're finding success with it right now. Wei has found an angle.
Zeus in trouble once again. Faker can TP to try and save him, but it doesn't seem like the right call. Zeus sleeping out. Knockback to the Impale is so crucial. Now forcing the TP, immediately forcing the response with the man advantage will be decided BLG. Wall up there to initially break the fight. Impale to try to dissuade a little bit more, but now it's going to be Faker in trouble. Zeus getting lower. Bin finding the initial kill. Goes golden once again. Buys a brief moment. Curtain call now coming out in the extended fight. It's BLG taking gold. Faker success with it, but BLG regional gauntlet.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Definitely much more of a return to form, but BLG are locked in after the upset against LNG. You can see their adaptations that they've made, making sure that they have comfort of their showcasing a stronger performance so far at Worlds than compared to what we saw them in the regional gauntlet.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely much more of a return to form, but BLG are locked in after the upset against
あー、なるほどね。
see their adaptations that they've made, making sure
レッドバフ上がってるの見て倍がカルの前提でボットガンクなんだこれ。うまいな。これね LPL マクロって感じする。すごい。こっから
showcasing a stronger performance so far at Worlds than compared to what we saw them in the regional
Yeah,
gauntlet.
absolutely.
Showcasing a stage. I mean, if nothing else, I think it's fair to say that T1 definitely showcasing a stronger performance so far at Worlds than compared to what we saw them in the regional gauntlet.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely much more of a return to form, but BLG are locked in after the upset against LNG. You can see their adaptations that they've made, making sure that
これすごいね。
they have comfort of their own, and they're finding success with it right now. Wait,
ザ
has found an angle.
LPL って感じだ。
Zeus in trouble once again. Faker can TP to try and save him, but it doesn't seem like the right call. Zeus sleeping out, knockback.
3連プッシュからのレッドバフ上がってるの見て倍下側いねえっつって。 ウェイがブルーバフ入ってポッピーがレッドバフだけ見て。
Massive pickup onto both solo laners as BLG is quicker to collapse. They keep their pressure on the mid wave. The TP comes through from Bin. They set their sights on the Baron.
Pressure on Owner. Now pressure on Guma. Steals enough. Will they be able to
普通に
stop
うまいけ
this
ど
play?
LG。
Carrier cannot overstep. They don't have the damage to win a fight. The most they can hope for is a steal. But it's so difficult with On. It's so difficult with the pick tools that BLG can bring to bear. 8K getting lower. T1 are here, maybe just hoping for exit kills. Respawn from Zeus, he does have the TP, he will use it. 5K getting lower. Off on the side is the Poppy. On. Ulti, 15-second cooldown. Looking to lock up Elk. Where's the follow-up going to go? Carrier trying to just wait. Guma knocked back to the wall. The flash forward. Going to try to finish on the first AD carry. Now he's on the hunt for Knight. Guma! Popping off in the clutch moment, but Bin ready to turn it right back. That's the ultimate. Counter-strike is there, but it's Bin versus all of T1, baby, and that is not enough.
In the 4 versus 5, T1 are able to turn the fight around. Incredible target selection from Ona to set up for the team to shut down the bot lane. Wei has an angle to steal.
Clone will spot him. 5K, is he willing to give his life? It'll put them behind on the soul. He can't afford to die here. Zeus now chasing. Baron gonna fall.
T1 が自分たちのチームの YouTube でこのシーンの VC 上げてましたね。ヘリアとオーナーがジンが浮いてるジンがっつってジン狙おうジン狙おうっつって言ってんだよねこれ。ジンジンジンジンジンジンジンジンジンジンジンっつって。ジン取ったっつって。ジャックス見てジャックス見てジャックス見てっつって言ってる。すごいよ T1 の集団戦。VC 聞いてたらジャックスが入ってきたらもうジャックスコールしか出てなかった。めっちゃジャックス警戒してた。この後のチームも確かそうだったんじゃない。ジャックスが出てきて前にジャックスジャックスっつってめっちゃフォーカスされるんだよね確か。ほんでドラゴン抑えてここもうジャックスっつってるからねみんなジャックス見てっつってもう全部使ってるでしょアルティメット単個ジャックス倒さないとカリスタがダメージ出せないからでカリスタ守ってってコールが出てんだよねここ。The chase down from Owner and Zeus, top and jungle together, salvaging the fight. Flash forward from Zeus. They're not done. They want more. On trying to body block. Knight with the red buff. How many cooldowns he got left? Owner locked up. On running, splitting their attention, but he will fall. The soul is denied from T1, but it's a massive team fight win once more. These team fights are absolutely crazy. They're an absolute nail biter.
As we turn our attention once more on with a huge ulti on to the jungle top combo. Faker then goes in. The chain CC is ruthless, but even then he gets the poppy ultimate. He knocks him up. He gets on incredibly low, and BLG are turning their attention onto him. But on the cross map, on the other side of the fight, I should say, Bin gets locked down. He, just like Faker, doesn't really get an opportunity to impact the fight that much. Carrier gets incredibly
オーナーのやつ見た？
which means that
俺
Carrier
オーナーのことあれ見て好きになっちゃった。
to shut down Gumayushi. But then again, it's that top jungle combo to clean up the fight. They're not focused down. Their consistent damage is enough. I think Wei even messed up going through the wall.
フェイカーはね、ポッピーのアルティメットを止めようとしたというか、食らって E2 でポッピーに張り付くのを狙ったんだけど、うまくいかなかったんだよね。自分が受けて飛んで E2 打って E2 で帰ってくるっていう。ただ代わりにそれが失敗したことでジャックスをフォーカスできたっていうメリットもあったから、まあないっちゃれみたいな感じ、ないっちゃれみたいな感じだね。結果ワースワース。T1 の後動画見てて面白いのが、トップタワーを取りましょう、ドラゴンを取りましょう、バロンを取りましょうってカットが入るんだよ。誰がコールしてるかっていうので、5分の4ぐらい全部フェイカーがコールしてんだよね。それ以外たまにケリアとかグマユシとかもコールするんだけど、5分の4ぐらいの確率でフェイカーがバロンです、ドラゴンです、トップのタワーですっつってコールしてんのめっちゃおもろい。あれはいってみんなが言って、
in the 1-2 bracket for either of these organizations, whether it's current expectations or all-time expectations, it would have been unthinkable coming into this tournament short of
この試合はビンが多分ちょっとミスったんだよな。ビルドをミスった。ウィッチエンドじゃなくてサステインするアイテムが良かったんだけど、
But normally it's that man in the mid lane who is struggling to have impact in this game as Knight continues to flourish on his Ahri, but the rest of his team is stepping up to help provide him the space to still be a threat in these fights.
Definitely. And again, really, across the board, T1 doing great in these fights. Credit to Zeus as well, who died in the solo bot play, has been found at solo kill, but has now rebuilt that gold lead in a decent
こ
position.
っからカリスタもめっちゃ強いんだよな、硬くなるから。そう、サンダードスカイが絶対強い。トリニティ、サンダードスカイ、ゾニャが普通に強い。もうバロン見るかドラゴン見るかでお互い駆け引きです。こっから BLG が上側に陣取ってますけど、後入りでファイトする判断ですね。バロンを取られたらゲームが終わるんで、 BLG はバロンの視界を取りつつ、バロンにいなければもうドラっていう後入りするしかない形。このバロン側のビジョン壊そうとして映ったらキャッチ狙いたいみたいな。で T1 は隠れてバロンさえ触らなければ基本的にはドラゴンでいい考えだから、バロンに行くルートに1個だけワード置いてドラゴンに行ってる。やっちゃった。ウェイのミスだね。これだとジャックス暴れられないんだよね、フォーカスされちゃって。誰もカバーに行けない。後入りでよかったのに先入りやってウェイが捕まったのがビジョンがなかったから、みんなと足並み揃えなきゃいけなかったのに、ビジョンがある入り方だよね、完全に。
to. T1 must feel so strong right now. Ari's just used the ultimate. Owner, not BL does strong enough. Give you an eye. I like what Bin's doing. Keep the pressure on bot lane. Keep that push in. Give you a nice angle to potentially create.
ここで浮いちゃうんだよな。
Like Faker now joins the squad.
Steadfast presence down. Initial root on the way is big.
まあでも
Secures it.
There's no reason on cooldown, but it's gonna
ケ
be
リアの
relatively soon.
E が当たったのがでかいか。
His ulti ready to go.
And observers beautifully highlighting. They're going in blind.
でもアーリが結局ポジション取れてないともう戦ったところでだからな。ジンフォーカス。多分初めてジンフォーカスしたんじゃないかな、この試合。これケリアが見つけたんだよね、確かね、これ。ケリアが裏回って。これで、ジンいた、ジンいた、ジンノーフラッシュ、ジンノーフラッシュつって。ここで、あ、フェイカーからか。で、これでノーフラッシュ、ノーフラッシュつって。絶対倒せるからジンいってつって。
The turn was so fast. BLG didn't see it coming. Faker came from one flank to then force the flash out from Elk, but the moment it was gone, Carrier struck. The team fighting from T1 coming online today as they're now looking to break the base.
T1 at Worlds just continue to impress. Team that seems to never disappoint. Once again, finding a way to topple.
この時のコールはね、ミニオンがないからファイトしないと勝てない、エンドいけないっていうコールだったね。